that they're saying, hey, F you guys.
Because you're a cop.
You know, they're saying F you guys, but wait.
Right.
Hey, dude, my life don't matter. You're just mad at me because of the uniform. It's like working at any other place. Whataburger or Walmart. It's my uniform. It's who I am, but it doesn't dictate.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what it was like here for you, but my dad over there, he was born and raised in Detroit, in the bad area of Detroit.
Yeah,
and the people that had it worse there, the worst were black cops in Detroit. They would have to go home in unmarked cars when the riots were happening, because a lot of them were seen as, they would say Uncle Toms, and they were threatened. They were targeted.
The story of Uncle Tom, but that's,
I know.
that's not even.
No, it's a good point. It's like using something. You're like, I don't think you know what you're saying.
You don't read a book. Read. It's not a.
That would be a good start.
But
yeah, no, that would be a good start. But yeah, black cops in Detroit. I don't know but it was really, really bad.
And I think that all lives matter in itself, but in particular on that time frame.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. Hey, listen, whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
Dude is reaching for his wallet. Let him get his wallet.
Right.
And that's saying from both sides of the fence for myself.
Right.
Hey man, let him get his wallet.
So what you just said, and you just touched, I just had a guy was talking, he said the exact same thing that you just said, right? Everybody's lives matter, all lives matter. Now here's a question that I would have, and if I know I don't have unlimited time, but that was something that a lot of people said. So white people say, look, I think all lives matter, and they were called racist or white supremacists if they said exactly what you just said.
That's ignorance.
But can you see how that makes white people afraid to even voice an opinion that's the same as yours? In other words, we share the opinion, but I'm telling you, just like you're saying a lot of.
But it wasn't about. It's basically okay. This is where we're standing.
Right.
Stand with me. I get it. I'm not saying yours doesn't, but we're all unified, saying, hey, these lives matter. This specific person, this specific group, this specific people.
Yeah.
Their lives matter.
Sure.
So it wasn't necessarily, oh, you're racist because you're saying all lives matter. We're not talking about that other part right now. We're just talking about this part.
Yeah.
So let's focus and fix and help here.
Yeah, but like you just said though, right? That's not what you just said, that all lives do matter, everyone's lives, and there are a lot of white people who come from poor areas too, right? Who have struggles, and they were saying, well, hey, we need to fix this. And if you think the system is rigged because it's racist, and by the way, I think the justice system has a lot of problems. I think that if you just see it as a white and black thing, you're going to miss a lot of the problems.
Agreed.
Right? And so saying, if we need to fix this system, we can't just approach it from a racial angle, that all lives matter, that justice matters, period, and it's not being done, then you can get to the solution. But I'm telling you that a lot of white people were scared, obviously, because crime obviously went up here, had to board up their businesses, and they were afraid to voice their opinion or reach out like now and just talk to people because they're afraid of being called a racist.
That's something that's internal with you. Because I never said, hey,
not you, but I'm saying that the media labeled everyone that way. Yeah.
People or black people as a culture, they never said, hey, don't come talk to me. You just automatically shut up and say, well, I can't get my opinion.
Point.
Why?
Yeah.
I didn't say you didn't have it. No, nobody told you couldn't. I want to hear you. I want to be
right.
I want to know what you're thinking, because if I don't know what's in your head, I can't hear it out of your heart. You have Jesus is risen on your chest. The Bible says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth is going to speak.
Right.
So whatever your mouth says, that was in your heart.
Right.
So let me know what's in your heart.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. It's like you're saying, if they don't reach out, it's usually white people using it as a weapon, calling other white people racist, and then they shut down. And then this divide gets created.
Absolutely.
Let me ask something like this. Like, these are some hot button issues right now.
All
right. Let me ask you. Right now, a big issue, for example, I think we probably share a lot in common here.
Okay.
Black and white people across the board. Trans men competing, biological men in women's sports. That's
okay.
Where do you line up on that?
I don't have an opinion.
You don't have an opinion?
I don't.
All right.
I genuinely don't have an opinion.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The idea of, voting, because you said you enforce the law. I don't want to, you have to keep it secret. People vote, right? Voter, just any kind of identification. I think that's something that's been turned into a racial issue, which doesn't seem like it should be.
I think it's more difficult for certain people to get it.
Yeah.
The opportunity, and even if you've already paid this is my take, if you've already paid your debt to society, you've already done what you've had to do, why can't you at this point?
Can't you vote?
Yeah, why can't you vote?
Well, just to make sure that you're the guy or girl voting.
Well, even still, who often says, hey, my name is John Jacob
Django Schmidt.
Right.
His name is my name too.
Or I'm just, hey man, my name is Eric. And
dude was from Whitesboro, by the way.
Oh my gosh, tripping. Oh my God. But I don't know. I think that everybody should have a voice.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, what side of the fence you're on, in the middle, or far on the right, far on the left. What's your voice?
Yeah.
Speak your piece.
All right, man. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think it's a lot more productive than what you hear in the media. Absolutely. People sitting around, it's just
absolutely. It ain't so bad. It ain't so bad.
There you
Calm
go.
down.
You heard it from him.
Breathe. It ain't so bad.
All right.
We're gonna do it together. Everybody does it better together.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time, man. That was really productive.
All right,
God bless.
man.
My brother's name is Jordan. I'm Steven. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, bro.
How would you classify or like characterize, where we are as a country right now, racially, between, black, white?
Not in a good spot.
Not in a good spot?
No.
No, you think it's worse?
Yeah.
So, why would you say that? Worse than when, or why?
I mean, it's just, I don't know what the root cause of it is. It's just we're not in a good spot. It's just, I mean, you look at events, I mean, even most recently it happened this weekend. It's like, it just shows where it's kind of like going to race wars. It's just different times.
And this is kind of what you see that in the media, right? A lot. But, being a comedian, having spent a lot of time around black comics, or a lot of black people just disproportionately in comedy, and then I've gone to churches that are very mixed. My interactions on a personal level are very positive, lifelong relationships. But if you watch the media, you're going to hear about the race wars and the division. Do you think there's maybe that? Are your personal interactions with white people worse than ever?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what? What kind of stuff do they do?
I mean, you have all kinds of stuff. You have the people that think it's acceptable to touch your hair, like you're a dog. You have the people that, I mean, it's all kinds of different things that just happen.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, that's not acceptable by no shape, form, or fashion, so I don't know why we're doing this.
It seems like a jump, though, from that to race war.
Well, I mean, it's like, I'm trying to think of some other things that have happened. I've been called names by people.
Yeah.
It's been all kinds of like random things.
Yeah.
I've been not welcome inside of places before. It's all kinds of it just depends on like where you're at.
Are you from Dallas here originally?
Yep.
What area specifically?
Mansfield.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to, Mansfield, where is that?
By Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice area. So, what was it like being raised? Like, how would you classify your neighborhood? How would you sort of describe it?
I mean, Mansfield's a primarily, white area.
Yeah.
Suburban America. Actually was one of like the last school districts in the country to desegregate.
Right.
So I mean, it's, they have their problems. I didn't really deal with much there.
Right.
I think I really was exposed to stuff until I was an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was mostly white suburban, so you'd think you'd be exposed to those people so you're saying when you were young, it was mostly decent?
Yeah.
The interactions? Okay. What do you think about, bringing that up? This is a white guy's perspective. The segregation coming back in colleges and black-only spaces, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned to be desegregated. We're moving back toward that under a different guise. Where do you line up on that? You think that's productive?
What do you mean?
To have black-only spaces either in high schools or colleges, right, to label those things. Seems to me, as an ignorant white guy, it's kind of like segregating again.
I can see that. I think everybody needs their safe space to where they can go be their authentic self, where they can, really like vibe with other people that are, like them. I'm not saying like it should be like, oh, white only or black only locations or spots or stuff, but like, I mean, if you see black people gather in certain places, like, okay.
No, I mean, those are policies. Like, those are actual policies, like at schools now, where they'll have black-only spaces, which doesn't seem like that's really...
What school was that?
We had it start with Mizzou, right? And there have been a few others in so we just had the affirmative action ruling, where they said, no, because Asians were sort of suffering at the hands of Harvard and Brown. Where do you line up on that? Do you think that that's an issue that anyone who would say, I don't think that categorizing people, accepting them by race, even if you disagree with them, does that make that person a racist who thinks affirmative action is maybe not the best?
So if you don't agree with affirmative action, are you a racist?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're a racist, but I mean, you should probably look at history to see like, hey, why do we have affirmative action, and then what's the importance of it?
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you got to realize, like, people, I've been hired at jobs before because they told me I'm black.
Right.
That's not acceptable. Right. So it's like, it gets used in...
that's affirmative action.
Sometimes used in good ways, sometimes used in bad ways. Moments like that, it's like, okay, cool, I'd rather you look at like my qualifications, see like, hey, what is it that I do?
Right.
And see like, okay, great, you're the best candidate for this, versus like, okay, cool, you got it because you're black.
Okay.
So I mean, it just depends overall.
So it sounds like you're saying that maybe affirmative action, not a great thing if someone's just hiring you because of your race.
I mean,
that's all it does. There is nothing else about it. It's hiring people based on their race, right? And honestly, that's got to be a terrible feeling if you're like, well, I feel like I've accomplished a lot. I'd rather you look at my accomplishments than just say I'm hiring you because you're black. That seems racist to me.
Well, I mean, part of the thing is like, I don't know if no offense to you, but I don't know if white people understand this, but it's like, black people just get looked over all the time. Where it's like, it doesn't matter what our accomplishments are. If you look at me on a piece of paper and a white person on a piece of paper, it's going to be two different experiences.
Okay.
I've seen it firsthand in corporate America. I've seen it firsthand in the universities as well.
So this is one thing that I think maybe can you maybe come to a place of with white people here. Let's say I'm a white business owner, okay? You just voiced displeasure, and I understand, with someone not hiring you, looking at two resumes because they don't necessarily know. Okay. But then you also said that it was kind of crappy that someone hired you because you're black. What's a white business owner to do?
I mean, here's the thing. It shouldn't have to be something that's a policy that's there. It should just be something that you're doing because it's the right thing to do. It shouldn't be like a thing of, okay, cool, I know I need to increase my diversity numbers, because that's normally what it is. I need to increase my diversity numbers, and then from there, then we're going to hire black people. So it's like, no, that's just the right thing to do. Mirror your customers.
What is the right thing to do, to hire based on race, or to hire based on
the right thing to do is
qualifications?
hire diversity, have a diverse workforce.
But what if they're not the best person?
Then, hey, you can find people. If Beyonce, like they say, if Beyonce can find 14 black trombonists, I'm sure you can find one black person to join your team. It's not that hard.
But somewhere there's likely a Japanese American trombonist who got screwed out of a job, was very good at it, just like Harvard and Brown, right? Who had higher SAT scores.
Which is fine. I mean, it's one of those things. It's just.
Are they racist?
No, I mean, it's one of those things where you know what you want. So it's like, okay, if you know what you want, then like.
But what if you don't want it? What if you just want the best trombonist?
Then do what you have to do.
Okay, so it sounds like we would find common ground and then hire the best person and do what you want, and it shouldn't be policy to force on someone, because that doesn't turn someone not racist. Like a Klansman's not going to hire black people because of affirmative action no matter what, right? But maybe someone else might hire you just because you're black, and that's a crappy feeling, as opposed to your accomplishments.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I think that makes sense. I was trying to make sure that we understood where we line up. And safe spaces we were talking about, that can apply to like black, white, gay, straight. I would assume that would also be kind of, as far as identity, intersect, all that. Those would be things that you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad we had this conversation, man.
Cool.
Jordan, I know you got to go. Boy, it's like I'm sweating like a stuck pig here.
No, it's all good.
So, no, I appreciate you taking the time.
All right, cool. No problem.
Thanks, bro. Take care. Well, there you have it. We'll continue to test my hypothesis that the narrative the mainstream media is so desperately trying to force down your throats may not be reflective of what you experience in the real world. And hey, just look at how much can be accomplished by actually talking with people. Grab your neighbor, pick their brains, ask them the real questions that you might have been afraid to, and you might be surprised with the answers. And please, listen. You may find that you have a lot more in common with your fellow American, black or white, than you think. If you want more of these, hit like, comment below. This has been Black and White on the Gray Issues. If you like this video, subscribe and consider joining us for our next installment of this series where things get a little spicy.
And now I feel like I'm in a trap.
And you'll be able to see the behavior that you have exhibited here, and not myself. And you can watch it,
Okay.
You can rewind it.
That's what you think of black women. Mom?
Why do we go to... Remember, none of this is possible without you. Join the fight and sign up for Mug Club today at louderwithkreider.com/Mug Club. Gain access to an unrivaled catalog of unapologetic and entertaining creators, including the Hodge Twins, Nick DiPaolo, Brian Callen, and of course, Alex Jones. All that and everything you see today is entirely funded by viewers like you. For $89 annually, join the fight at louderwithkreider.com/Mug Club today.